So Bitcoin fell below 110,000 today, which caused massive deviations in the crypto markets. The US markets were also not looking too hot today, mainly due to some key news events that were happening this week, which I've been keeping you updated about. Some important data came out around inflation, which had a lot of people in mixed sentiment, guys. And right now, there's a lot of, perspectives around more deviations with Bitcoin, potentially even falling below 100,000. Right now, there's specific key zones that we're looking at, and if we start to break down, it's going to look very, very bad for not only Bitcoin and Ethereum, but for altcoins in the crypto markets in general. And this is why in yesterday's video, I talked about how to expect volatility today. And if you're not keeping up with all the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, and how liquidity is shifting, then you're not aware of what's going to be happening. On this channel, I keep you updated with all of that information, the price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, the key news events, and exactly how to position yourself. Right now, there's a lot of different perspectives. Some people were anticipating upward price action, but now based off of this deviation, everyone is, locking in, and a lot of people are also like Dr. Profit are talking crap about all the big influencers that have been saying, hey, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and then deviations happen. And it's funny, not that many people watched my video yesterday, and it's because people don't care about real information. They care about everyone just screaming altcoin season and you're about to get rich and it's all good and everything's great. That's not how things work, guys. We're seeing massive deviations. You need to be aware of all this information, and on this channel, I drop all of it. So with all that being said, let's go to jump straight into the charts, straight into the markets, and the perspectives of what you need to be aware of around Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. So like how I said, we have seen some massive deviations in the market. We talked about it in yesterday's video, how if we fell below that 112,000 region, we were going to see massive deviations, and that is currently what is taking place. Bitcoin sitting at 108,000, Ethereum sitting at around 4,300. Altcoins are following the price action around Ethereum, so they're pretty much just deviating based off of exactly the strength with Ethereum. If Ethereum falls below 4,000, it is going to get quite nasty. Bitcoin dominance has been seeing some deviations, but there is perspectives from people like Benjamin Cohen who think that Bitcoin dominance is about to make a big run up. And this is something I was talking about a month ago, guys, where I was anticipating Bitcoin having one last stretch and then from there returning all of the liquidity back into our assets. But this is why it's super important to keep up with the price action and honestly also the news events that are taking place. Like how I said, US markets were not looking too hot today once we saw that data come out and exactly sentiment moving into the weekend, especially with tariffs and a lot of other things that are taking place. It was not looking too hot. So we're starting to see some deviations, a lot of sell-offs in the market, and a lot of it was due to a lot of the data that was coming out, and then overall the perspectives and how everyone felt about this information. The Kobesi letter also has been talking about how there has been some weird stuff going around with, the U.S. court and also President Trump's global tariffs. This is something that's interesting. Kobesi letter talked about the U.S. Court of Appeals has ruled President Trump's global tariffs to be illegal 30 minutes after futures closed. And the ruling came out ahead of Labor Day weekend when markets will be closed for the next 3 days. So it seems like, guys, in the markets right now, there's kind of a manipulation that's taking place. Everyone is also talking about how right now, this is what, big investors in the wells do. They squeeze out retail, and the way that they do it is by dropping prices and getting everybody out of the market. So this really correlates, and this is why it's super important to not only keep up with price action, but also news events and how everything comes out, especially with important data like the PCE and inflation information that came out. Now, Dr. Profit has been one of the only people that has been talking about how massive deviations were going to be taking place. And I was aligning with exactly what he was saying, guys. This is why I've been shorting the market consecutively, even though people like Killa XBT have been super bullish on the market. But even him, he is now switching up that perspective and pretty much showing us specific zones and how more than likely we could be heading into a bear market if we don't see, good price action. But this is something that is really, really great. Keeping up with the information and how this, progresses, and also specific zones so that you can understand how Bitcoin has been performing and potential corrections that will take place. This is something that he's been preaching for the past literally week, guys, and I've been talking about it, how potentially we could be breaking down to that 100,000 zone or even below. And one thing that I thought was really funny, it says big silence from bulls on X. Where are those accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers who laughed at my sell and short posts? They were loud before, but now they're quiet once again. And this is literally hilarious because if you don't follow multiple perspectives and you don't follow the price action, the key events, and everything that's going on, you fall into one perspective. And, if you're just listening to someone that's just tooting your horn, you're not going to be, getting ready for actual corrections when they need to take place. Don't be one of those people, guys, that doesn't listen to multiple perspectives, that you just are a bull full time and you think, I have a crypto portfolio myself, but you need to be aware of when dumps take place. And if you aren't keeping up with this information, then you're going to be someone that gets left in the dust. Now, we've been seeing multiple different, thoughts from Dr. Profit as to why we're seeing deviations. And he's pretty much saying that over the last week, 200 insider trades hit the market and not a single one was a buy. Every single insider is screaming the same words: sell, 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 sell. And this is something where the stock market insiders are selling big, same for crypto whales and insiders. And this goes to show where I talked about the market manipulation and how whales start to sell off, because what they do is they squeeze out all of that liquidity from retail investors that are scared and do not know what's going on. From there, they sell their bags, and then from there, the markets have a correction. So don't be scared about the dips that are taking place right now. Dr. Profit's talking about how in 2021, Bitcoin flashed a bearish divergence right before the brutal bear market started. Today, the chart screamed the same warning again: bearish divergences on the weekly chart. I don't usually put too much weight on divergences, but worth to consider. So this is where, guys, right now deviations are more anticipated for Bitcoin. He's been anticipating that we're going to hit to that 100,000 region, and this is something that he still stands by. He says September has not started yet. It's only preparation. And he goes on to talk about exactly how he thinks we are going to be falling below that 100,000 region, guys. So this is really crazy right now. Dr. Profit has been very, very spot on, and I try to give you guys multiple perspectives. I don't just follow one crypto influencer, one crypto trader, analyst. I follow multiple, which is why on the channel you don't just see one source of information, you see multiple. But lately we've been talking about Dr. Profit because he's been one of the only people that has been aligning with my perspectives on the deviations that were going to be happening, and currently we're seeing it. Killa XBT is kind of pretty much putting this in stone for us now as well. He says if Bitcoin loses these levels, and he's giving us specific quarterly zones, as well as overall exactly the monthly opens, multiple different variations of specific price action. But he goes on to say if Bitcoin loses these levels, we are going into a bear market. So trust me when I say this: if we deviate and do not hold and reclaim these levels, GG. So even Killa XBT, who was longing, literally like 2 days ago, is talking about how if we lose these specific zones, we are going to see massive deviations and the bear market is about to initiate. Now, altcoin season hasn't even started, so I don't really believe a bear market is going to be initiated. More just massive deviations and corrections on these assets, because if you look at how everything's been performing, pretty much from June into July and August, it was pumping too freaking hard. That's why we're starting to see those corrections. We don't just see up, 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 up. We see up, up, correction, and then the final run up, guys. That's just how everything moves. Benjamin Cohen is talking about exactly Bitcoin dominance, though, and this is something that we correlate, guys, because I show you Bitcoin dominance every single day, and the reason for this is because it actually shows us when altcoin season is actually going to start. So if we pull out from the monthly time frame, you can actually see more in perspective what the deviations actually look like when altcoin season was initiated. You can see it back in 2017 and 2018, as well as in 2021, guys. And look, does it look anything like that? Does it look like a big line like that? No, it does not. So I honestly think that this is something that we saw, guys, back in 2020, where it had a crash down, one last final rip up, and then the final deviation. This is what I have been saying for the past 2-3 months. Anyone that's been following me knows I've been saying this, but there's only a few y'all that follow me, so I really respect the few y'all that follow me. But you guys can see exactly what I've been saying. It's crazy how it's coming into fruition, but this is why he thinks that we're going to be seeing a giant rip up for Bitcoin dominance, likely moving into September and October. He says, as noted in the post below, alts tend to find tops against Bitcoin in late August. Liquidity will flow back to the king. So right now, guys, I think a lot of assets were running up. I honestly expected, Ethereum and altcoins to run up a little bit more than what they did, but we're starting to see corrections. We could be seeing a flip moving into the next few weeks, but moving into September, a lot of people are anticipating more deviations in Bitcoin dominance running up. Now, crypto markets are trading sideways right now, guys. Nothing is looking too hot. Everything is just ranging. We've been seeing upward price action and then deviations falling below specific zones. And as a result, this has sentiment moving in all different directions. People do not know what to be doing, but the best thing to be doing right now is dollar cost averaging. If we look at my crypto portfolio, these assets are down significantly. Really, really nasty, especially hash AI. Jesus. But this is where we can start to allocate to these positions and make some crazy gains whenever nobody wants to be allocated to the market. This is where if you are investing in altcoins, you believe that altcoin season is going to be happening. And if that's the case, you need to dollar cost average whenever we see everyone calling for a bear market, because that is usually the best time to be buying these assets. Now, that is currently what is taking place in the markets, guys. For Friday, like how I said in yesterday's video, crazy volatility was expected. We saw massive deviations not only for the US markets, but also the crypto markets. There is specific predictions that Bitcoin is going to be falling below 100,000. And, a lot of people are now switching to the bear mindset. And this is what I've been talking about for the past week. I even made a video talking about exactly, how don't be dumb, how to focus on multiple perspectives and all that stuff. And, a decent amount of people saw that video, but even then, not enough people watched it because most people are just fixated on a specific perspective, a specific narrative. And most of it is that they're going to get rich with altcoins, and it's going to happen like this. When in reality, we've been waiting for altcoin season to happen for the past 4 years. So the worst thing you can do is get super bullish at the worst possible time, capitulate your bag right before the huge run. Do not do that. The best thing you can do is sit on your hands, learn about the information, the price action, the news events, and everything that is taking place, what to anticipate moving into September with rate cuts, and multiple other different things, guys. And on this channel, that's exactly what I do. So if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. I keep you updated on the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and practically everything you need to be aware of. You're not going to find another YouTube channel like mine that drops day-to-day content that is really concise in a 10 to 15 minute video, dropping all of the news events, the perspectives of actually what matters, and then from there, how to position yourself. This is super important, but nobody really cares. No one cares about this. So I'm just shooting my day-to-day content so that I can keep progressing and also help anyone that wants to progress. This is super important stuff, guys. It's multiple different, variations and perspectives in the market. And if you just stick to one, more than likely you're going to get blindsided whenever we see something like what happened today happen. This is super important. I can't stress it enough. I'm going to be dropping more videos around my crypto portfolio. I dropped a recent video talking about why I'm not investing in Bitcoin and why you probably shouldn't be investing in Bitcoin either. That video is doing a little bit decent, so go check out that video as well. But I'm going to drop more content, guys. This is super important, the data, the information, and I know most people don't care about it. They just want to get rich, which is why most people are investing in crypto, but I hope you guys can learn. Make sure you guys stay tuned. I'm going to keep showing you guys how to progress. I'm going to show you when I'm selling my altcoins and everything else in between, from me doing everything, day-to-day stuff, to going full-time into crypto. I plan on documenting my whole life and everything else in between. So this is why I really take this stuff seriously, and I laugh at people who don't. So make sure you take it seriously. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more content. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, drop it down below, and hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Peace.